to our live stream here Friday on lichess and Twitch. International Chess Master, the I am Sladgie, here with Macro Panda, looking cool for the summer. We've got our summer stream set up. Can't wait to get to the beach here, guys, but just a few more, maybe 2 more weeks, we can start the beach runs. What's up, everyone? We're going to be doing 5+3 blitz here. Casual, fast Friday, welcoming challenges from everyone with 100 games or more established accounts. Getting started, this is our Euro starting time, Euro friendly or Euro facing. Donate some Euros, guys. Support the stream like Asterbait, Bloby, Jim. You can do a streaming donation if you click on the Panda GIF down on the Twitch stream, don't forget. Merle Dixon, Dragon BC, Move 11, Oms on Twitch, Mr. Coffee, and Bob Sacamano. You can still be in the top 10 for the week. Thank you, guys. Azerbay leading the way, Bloby Jim all in the green there. Don't forget my YouTube channel while we're self-promoting. I'm a well-known chess influencer and social media butterfly. You can check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. Make it great again. All right, anyway, let's get a game from one of the innocent victims in the Play tab, create a game. Hopefully the stream is up and running. I have some connectivity. Dropped connectivity for a moment there, but we're back. Is anyone home? Go to the lobby, find a victim. Casual, Twitch Fury. Can you give me tips to get better at chess? I'm 13, rated 1643. The good news that I started when I was like 11 or 12, and you're probably on a pace with me. Bad news is that most people who are 13 are grandmasters already. No, but I'm just kidding. You've got a lot of potential. I mean, you've got a lot of time to get better. You want to improve. As I tell everybody, you've got to balance playing, and I mean like playing over the board, if possible, in live tournaments as well as online, with studying as well. You leave the new innocent martyrs playing for now. Someone on sound sounds like he'll be a victim. So I've got some casual challenge. Marwa will not play first. I'm not going to lose again to him. He's just like, he beat me the last 3 games, and he's basically ambushing me every time in the first game. And I'm not going to get ambushed by Marwa again. I refuse to play you the first game, Marwa. You're going to have to wait. I need 2 warm-up games before I play Marwa. I am not going to lose to him again. So he's going to... I know that he's first, and normally I take people in order, but I'm not going to play him first. I will not get ambushed. I'm not warmed up yet. I'll take the challenge. And anyway, Marwa, I got you on a technicality. You have to challenge me to 5+3. So, Marwa, I'm sorry, you'll have to wait until you re-challenge to 5+3. This is a fast Friday. You're going to have to wait. He was too ambitious, and he got in there with the wrong challenge of 7+3. So we're going to take someone on sound, Percy Hepworth, at 5+3 and 5+3. Marwa needs to re-challenge to 5+3. Phew, that was close. I almost didn't have an excuse not to play Marwa. I mean, someone on sound is scary enough. Underrated by at least 200 points. Wow, that's this 1900 from Normandy. The best 1900 ever. Well, he's probably like 2100 FIDE and Rapid now. He gained like 200 something points on his Rapid rating, I think. So it'll catch up. Takes a little time. He doesn't play that many tournaments. Isn't there like a storm? I read something in BBC about a bad storm like on the coast in France. Okay, someone on sound. What does someone on sound do against the Alyakin's defense? Got to get him out of his comfort zone. Another player who's very reliant on knowing his territory. It's funny, he doesn't play the Vienna with white. So what happens if you play e5 here? What does he do? John Koss, thanks for joining us again. Terry Lilas says he's Marwa. He says hello for dad. Whatever that means. Wow, so we got someone on sound in some kind of second tier opening. We forced someone on sound to play his second best stuff. Of course, it's much easier to improve your rapid rating and play many games quickly. Long classical chess, not so easy. Bobby says a small storm. I would think if it like makes international news, it wouldn't be too small, but F takes E3. All right, knight takes E4. Why? Oh yeah, now I remember. We looked at this with, it was, I think, Nils, one of our supporters who vowed to quit chess. I'm getting laughed at this end for being the second warm-up. That doesn't make you bad. You're just not as scary as the ambusher. So knight f3, the classical. Queen f3 looks dubious. That's become kind of trendy lately. This is like the proper way to play with white. And unfortunately, I don't know the theory that much. I'm just banking on someone on sound not knowing it that well. I don't think that bishop e5 is that common, is it? I mean, it looks like a very logical move. Why don't I remember that being played? Strange. Many 1800 are crushing me online. Thank you guys for being subscribers. Okay, check. What the heck? So check d4. Check with the check. Check d4, bishop e6 is kind of interesting. Afraid my bishop will get sort of shut out of the game. You think the arena tournaments inflate ratings? Well, I mean, yeah, it's going to make a lot of weird things happen. People stop caring about losing games, right? Because losing games doesn't matter for standings. Winning games matters. Losing games doesn't matter. So you can just like lose games, resign against strong players so you get an easier pairing. And I think so a lot of players kind of dump rating points, maybe unintentionally. I could see that. But as much as I love lichess, and I support lichess almost, you know, independently as the only place that I play, I think they need to have other tournaments, and this has been a common criticism of the site, but ultimately they need to have other formats of tournaments. I mean, you can't just have one format for tournaments. It's just not enough. Berserk King. Lichess is better than chess.com. Of course. More wah. Esterman says he has a good haircut. What? He's been sniffing a lot of glue. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, so Queen E1. CD4. Bishop F3. I want to destroy your center. Someone on sound. Very tough. I'll just assign everyone how much they're underrated. Someone on sound, he's underrated by 200 points. Next customer. Now white is slightly better. I really hate having to give up my bishop here. Do I have to give up my bishop here? So disappointing. He's a good player, this guy. This is absolutely no excuse for you to be 18-15. Someone on sound. That's absurd, dude. And 1600 in bullet? Why even play bullet? All of his ratings are absurd. All of his ratings should be over 2,000. Let's not talk about Esserman's like physical appearance. He's a good chess player. I can't believe we're having this discussion and Bob isn't even here. It's like, that's totally like Bob lives for the physical. Focusing on the physical. Bob is God. With the slight change in letters. What if Bob was one of us? You guys know that song? MTV 180 Minutes. What's it called? 120 Minutes? Who did that song? Famous. What if Bob was one of us? This looks kind of risky. Could easily miscalculate and just lose the game. My God, man. Are you crazy? Too old for MTV. But I'm talking old MTV. I mean, it's just a matter of time till something bad would happen there. Someone on the side, it's ridiculous how strong he is for his rating. He doesn't create any weaknesses in his position. He never gives me a break. He has constant threats. He doesn't make mistakes in the opening. I mean, damn, dude. If everybody played like someone on sound, what my rating would be. Oh, I dropped my c7 pawn. Freudian slip. You have to be pretty old to be too old for MTV. Be like 60. Blubby is also underrated. What other underrated players do we have here? Percy Hepworth, also ridiculous. This is a new player. Morwa, underrated slightly, though he's catching up. Supreme XD, I don't know. Rashid, the player, can play exceedingly well. Okay, so why didn't he just drop a piece? Bishop h6, rook h6, queen e3 check, king h1, queen takes h6, queen f7 check, king h8, queen f6 check, queen g7, right? What if Bob was one of us? Simple miscalculation. He fell into my sneaky trap. Materialistic grab on c7. That's why he's 1800. You remember the day Elvis died? I don't remember the day Elvis died. I remember the day like John Lennon died. Different era, slightly. He found an improvement. When I'm forced, I can play some decent chess. Yeah, but I felt bad. I mean, I kind of messed this position up. I thought he was better. Rematch. Okay, guys, we're taking the challenges. Let me get these out of the way, because they just keep bothering me. I don't do 3 days correspondence. So Percy Hepworth, B Hopper, Morwa, Supreme, Vichy, and Lolly Master from Bolivia. No, Zimbabwe, sorry. Bolivia has very colorful flag too. Okay, let's go. Thank God I didn't have to play Morwa the first game. Alright, 5 plus 3. Of course he has to take on G7 first. But I had an answer for that. Where was my queen? Was my queen on E5 or no? Where was my queen? On E6? I thought I had an answer for that, but maybe not. Okay, guys, welcome to my stream. Don't forget to support the stream. Asterbait donated 1,265. You get a streaming donation. A lot of people, like someone on Sound, have done streaming donations. Sparkle Horse, Percy Hepworth. Queen on E6. So why was I... What was my plan on Bishop G7? Maybe there was no plan. It was just kind of like, okay, Bishop G7, King G7, Queen C7, check, Rook. Where's my Rook? Is it on E8? My Rook was on E8, right? So it's like Queen C7, check, Rook E8. I'm just down a pawn in a heavy piece endgame. That's good. Alright. Learn this, not listen to the commentary while I'm actually playing. Good idea. I would play better if I didn't actually do commentary while I'm playing. I could have just taken the queen then. Oh, of course. Thank you for Larso. The queen the queens are I'm priest. His queen is on C4. I knew there was reason he couldn't win a pawn. The queen is on C4. It's attacked. He can't win a pawn. Duh. Okay, that's like the 5th landscaper in my immediate neighborhood who's like working outside on the same exact day, one after another. Maybe it's a tree guy. I love tree guys. Tree people. I live in a nice peaceful place where there's never a moment of quiet. Ever. Never a moment of quiet. I have to like close the window and live in I have to like leave you guys for a second. It's so hard to concentrate with the landscaping going on. Landscaping is an addiction. We need to free our society. What an interesting move from Percy Hepworth, this Bishop D6. I think I've never ever faced that. 1600, he plays a very cool theoretical novelty here. I move 6. He drew me the last game? Game before last? Okay, I'm getting confused. Who drew me yesterday? Oh, that was Save a Dog. No, that was getting him confused with Save a Dog. That's why you always mute. I'll always invite you kindly to go for your own death. I was like, I hung my C7 pawn. He fell for it. Using psychological warfare. Do you think you could become 2400 one day? Terry Lilas. Trying to become 2100 in Rapid. He's going to Mad Ramus, I guess. The Mad Rapper. I think I could also become 2400 one day. It's been a while since I crossed 2400. I was like, maybe 10 years ago. Too many draws. I draw with every little kid. I have to be more motivated. I need a little motivation. Hopefully in the next year I can start playing chess again. Seriously, go to some tournaments maybe. Alright, bishop takes g3. Can you explain why you didn't take on g6? If I take on d6, he has another pawn that helps control the center. It also opens up a half open file for him. Generally, double pawns in the center of the board are often more favorable than unfavorable. So, there you go. But I think it's a judgment call, Robin. It's a judgment call, like many decisions in chess. A pawn structure Nazi would probably go for bishop takes d6, but I really like doubled pawns. So when I'm playing the other side of the double pawn situations, I give them a lot of respect, but I like to play with doubled pawns myself. Good evening, number 3. Is Nefedov here? Hello, number 2. I thought you'd be doing like the Star Trek thing. Nefedov's called Spock. So what would he be? I'm not like a sci-fi freak. I like sci-fi, but I'm not crazy with the sci-fi stuff. I just thought it's funny. Tower and a bishop. Towers. I call the knights dogs because they look more like dogs than horses. You can call it a tower. I call those dogs. Tower on h1, dog on f3. The Bits Club. Where is the Bits Club? Blubby, you're second in the Bits Club? The Bits Club. Acerbate is number 1. Number 1, come to the bridge. Number 1 is off shift. Do you play for a club, Blobix? You know, I played in the French teams in 2008, 2009. I fell down a fire escape. Had to forfeit one of my games. The EMTs like found me in the morning outside this hotel in Gingamp. Very embarrassing. But I went back and I played again after that incident. Almost killed myself. It was the night that Obama got elected. It's a team. It's now defunct. Betty Salone. It's defunct. It was like run by a husband and wife, and they, I guess, like, so they started cheating on each other, and they dissolved the club. Unfortunately, this was 10 years ago. I had a good excuse for not making the round for that game. Well, it was kind of a good excuse, being in the hospital. Only time I've missed a club game. But my team got penalized because we forfeited my board, so it was pretty bad. But they invited me back even after that, which was cool. Guys, watch for the last step. When you go out the fire escape. The first step, I'm sorry. It's like those Bugs Bunny cartoons. The first step, it's a doozy. It was exactly like one of those Bugs Bunny cartoons, except I just slipped on the first step. Fell down a like iron fire escape. I was lucky I didn't kill myself. Alright, A5. That's a good move, kind of, I want to say. Giving me a lot of space. There's nothing like the feeling of having broken ribs. Very pleasant. Alright, we're gonna go with B5. I don't like this though, that he's fixed his pawns on dark squares. I kind of wanted my pawns on dark squares. Now this liability on A3. We have a strong French following. It's good though, the Euro-facing time, because I'm starting at 12:30 American time, East Coast time. We can actually allow the European players to hang out and be awake. They love my accent. On the road until Tuesday night. Take care, someone on sound. Thanks for joining us. Look at this maneuver. Beautiful maneuver. I want to play c5, but I'm running out of time. My God, man. All right. Don't look for me. I'm not anonymous. Well, I mean, Lars Solini, I live in Hungary normally. You might know that. I don't know how long you've been watching my stream, but I do visit the United States in the summer most often. Comes the H pawn. Bang! Panda! Oh man, he's listening to me. Never ever listen to my suggestions. You should know better than that. Bozo the Clown 99. There was a Bozo the Clown sighting at a recent Massachusetts chess tournament. No relation. Sack pawn. I was trying to sack a pawn. Or at least confusing him. But I mean, Percy Hepburn is also very tough. I think he might have had some better resource there. I feel much better that he's castled. I was a little bit worried about crazy h4 type attacking plans. Yes! I'm waiting to snipe that. Guys are tough. Remove the blockade. It's not really a blockader. That's the blockader. I'm lucky here. No. Okay. This is over. Another lucky win. I think... Oh, we got one more game before Morwa. We can't lose to Morwa today, alright? Ayesta, if you could, please reschedule. Please re-challenge me. Ayesta, re-challenge me to 5+3. We've got enough. Ayesta would be like third from the bottom. We've got enough 5+3. That's already like long enough. There's no second beer this early in the day. I mean, I normally don't drink beer this early in the day. Only bad things come of starting to drink. Typically, that's how the fire escape incident. That's basically how the fire escape incident happened. That's the product of starting drinking too early. Essentially, it was a very unlucky thing that happened to me, but less accidents happen to you if you don't start drinking early in the day. I guarantee it. Bishop g5. The Leningrad, it's so rarely seen. And we have a Leningrad Nimzo expert on the premises here. Can you believe that? What are the chances the Spassky influenced Joe, a resident cook and weed expert, he's in the house? I mean, how often am I going to have a Leningrad Nimzo expert present on the premises? He'll enjoy this game. I'm very glad that you played this. Reminiscent of Joe versus Nick DeFermian. think Joe did something like rook c1 once, if I'm not mistaken. Very rare move. e3, though, it's like transposing some kind of queen's gambit. That should be pretty good for black, I would assume. Take queen a5. Take queen a5, forcing you back. Well, that's messed up. This could transpose a game I had with... this will actually transpose to a game I had with a Hungarian IM. It's not that bad for white. I'm not even sure what the best line is there for me. But the resident master would know. Second warm-up bites the dust. But you did a good job. Blubby, I think I probably played... There was a discussion of this that Fuchsia was involved with on lichess. In the lichess forums. About drinking and playing chess. I would be willing to bet you, Blubby, that I play better after the second beer, not worse. It's the diminishing returns, and then that, you know, you fall out over the hill, and it's probably around the third beer or the fourth beer that I start really dropping. We chopped his bishop on g5. I feel cheap. Cheap and dirty. That's my middle name. Tricks Only. Haven't seen Tricks Only streaming. Percy Upward, thank you for the donation, sir. Jim is up to 1,000. We're waiting on Merle Dixon and Dragon BC to get up to 1,000. We have 5,000s for the week. Guys, don't forget Sunday is my simul. That's our flagship event. Oh, you want me at my best? I'm sorry. Again, my reading comprehension not really up to par. Right. Yeah, I mean, you're just not getting your money's worth if you play me sober in the first game. Like, that's why I don't want to play Marwa in the first game. I would be cheating him if I played him without even getting a sip of my beer here. All right. You won't like me when I'm angry. Marwa had a great run lately. He's got 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins in the last 10 games. So we're actually equal over the last 11 games. Like the Incredible Hulk. The French are everywhere. They're taking over the world. Have to be stopped. My best chance against him is in the opening. I mean, okay. His biggest weakness is in the opening, let's say. He doesn't have any, like, terrible weaknesses. My second glass. No, it's my first glass. But at least I got a little in the system before I started the game. I play poker better after drinking a little bit, too. Not too much, though. It's finding the happy medium is the key. He played a move I've never seen before, and I don't think that looks right. Bishop a5. So he basically lost the tempo. This is not really the way you're supposed to play the black side of this Rogozin. He doesn't know that much theory, and again, that's his only weakness that I can really identify. He's very good at practical chess for a young player, kind of. I know it's crazy to draw parallels with Magnus Carlsen with anybody, but honestly, it's not that often that you see a young player who plays the opening badly and the middle game and end game better. You know, that's very unusual. That's how Carlsen seemed to be not caring about the opening that much and extremely naturally talented at endgame. Well, especially endgame. Sort of the reverse. Usually kids are really interested in openings, memorizing a lot of opening moves, and not so good at the endgame. Marwa is kind of the opposite. He's much better at endgames and doesn't seem to really pay that much attention to the opening stage of the game. But he does have a concrete disadvantage here. He didn't know the theory, so he played bishop a5, which is definitely not a normal move. Then he realized his bishop was going to get trapped, so he second guessed and keeping the tension here. I'm trying to keep ahead on the clock too. I'm so tired of people constantly being ahead of me on time, giving them that advantage. It's kind of a bad Bogo Indian for black. Alright guys, Friday, Fast Friday, we're taking challenges in order. You don't have to be a subscriber to play. We got a good solid time advantage and an advantage on the board. I'm angry about losing 3 games in a row. You won't like me when I'm angry. Fully mobilized. Well, he averts any kind of like bishop b4. It'd be funny if he moved his knight now, wouldn't it? Like knight b8, bishop b4. Resigns. Queen trapped in the middle of the board. That'd be so sick. I've never seen that happen. Can you imagine? Knight b8, bishop b4, c5, bishop c5 resigns. Due to lack of queen. On knight b8, bishop b... okay, this is ridiculous to discuss this. Usually having good position after the opening when I play against incredible monsters. Well, when I played Luke McShane, when I played Nakamura, I actually, for example, you know, 2 young talents who are legendary grandmasters now. I mean, Luke McShane's not legendary, but he's good. Nakamura's kind of a legend. So basically, both those guys I had huge advantages against them. And they weaseled their way to draws against me. And I did drink 2 pints during my game with McShane. So he was like this tall. He needed like an encyclopedia to sit on. What are we gonna do? What we gonna do when they come for you? He didn't drink before playing. Look at this insta take. No. I don't want to trade pieces. No trading pieces. I might have to trade 1 though. Bishop d2, he breaks out with e5? No. Life's not that easy. He tried it. Oh. He outcalculated me. e4, knight f4, take, take, take. I want to grab that pawn on c7. Can I get it? He's going to have a trap now. Queen c7, take, take, bishop b5. Rook c3. Rook e4. f3. I lost my whole advantage. Incredible. Rook c3, rook e4, f3. Rook d4 resigns. So I can't do that. Man. Totally equalized. Caught up on the clock and equalized. How do they calculate that? I think c6 is kind of a weird move. Blocking his own bishop. I mean, he's good at endgames. He's still not as good as me. But I really thought my best chance to get him was in the opening. Maybe he wants to play f5 there. I don't want him to have both rooks on the board and take the open file here. Plus I have tactical tricks. E5 check, king g6. This is a draw. Now I think he's playing for a win in a slightly worse position. Just be careful I don't play for a loss here. masturbates here. Alright, it's a draw. This is a draw. I think I was slightly worse there for a little while. Maybe not. Good game, good game. At least I didn't lose. Broke the hex. Supreme XD. Draws better than a loss, I guess. Really good game. Okay, congratulations, Morwa, on a good game. Supreme XD. I put a light beer on ice. That's what I read. I put a light layer icing on it. Cupcake. That was a long game. I thought I was a little better, and I thought I was a little worse. I was totally clearly better in the opening. He got an E5. And the whole thing was this stupid fantasy that I could take on C7. And spending a minute to realize that I couldn't take it. Thank you guys. Astrobay, thanks particularly for the donations, sir, this week. Bloby, Jim, all of whom are here. We had a new donation from somebody because there's 10 people in the list now. Who was the new donation? Was it Percy? Did you just donate 102, right? Yeah. So now we have 10 donators. 10 hippo lights. Alright, Supreme XD doesn't seem to be here. We're going to cancel this. Got a lot of people waiting. Vichy the player. Survived Morwa. If I had one more beer, I would have beat him. Alright. Tough draw. Beer is fuel. Beer is food. I've got coffee and beer. Maybe I need to hit the coffee a little bit. Alright, let's do a Nimzo. Or not. Very unusual opening. I don't know what you call this. We'll have to ask Fuchsia. Chess is life. Beer is life. I should play E5. Soon. It is now. I mean, it looks a little overextended, but black is on his heels here. This is the Aliekin. Aliekin versus No Name. This player has a decent score against me. Really crazy about this move, Queen C2. I normally don't like to place my queen on C2, but I didn't like something else. Probably I should have just played bishop. I should just play bishop D3 there. Did you read The First Sip of Beer? Nice book. The First Sip of Coffee, I think, is even better. Okay, so pawn takes Ponda. Pawn takes Ponda. Bishop takes F3, G takes F3, Bishop H4 check. White would have a field day there. King E2. King E2 probably best. Rather than Bishop F2, Queen D4 dropping a pawn. Guys, we have a simul on Sunday, 25 player simul, first come, first serve, 5:30 Eastern Time every Sunday here on lichess and Twitch. That's our flagship stream. Expecting big bit wars and donations. Guys, check out my YouTube channel. One day I will start posting new material there. Hopefully in the next 6 months, I'll get my act together. Seriously. I used to have, like, this time last year I had a lost position in life, and I think I was like -3. If you gave like a stockfish evaluation to my life, I was at like -3, and now I'm like +1.5. And once I get to like +3, I can start living my life again. So anyway, Queen C2. I could go for like 20 to 30 years of +3 right about now. How's the weather? The weather here, I'm in Massachusetts. It's cloudy, but not too bad. Those of you that don't know, I usually well, he did this. Chess way of comparing everything to chess. Why not? So he didn't exchange on e5. But this is different. Oh, I see. So, okay, so two possibilities. Bishop f2 takes on e5. I love his move order trick. Just your everyday run-of-the-mill 1900. I mean, my name is Victor. And I'm here to bump you up. Wow. How can you dare do that? How dare you disrespect the centrum? Master Korchnoi. Not one that was, he wasn't one to be afraid of moving the king to like e1 or d1 if necessary. The last thing I want to do is play bishop f2 and let him do like queen takes d4. Trading pieces and winning the game. Someone suggested like playing knight d7 earlier. That was probably very reasonable. I don't know, I think this is, we joked about this before, but we think this is maybe Tushar. I want my rock to play. My tower. Towers are dogs. These are dogs. And these are towers. I prefer espresso, but I'm not very good using the espresso machine. I like other people to make my coffee for me. So Queen e4. Centralizing. Queen is also kind of sensitive there. Roland Garros was canceled. Yeah, I saw like Nadal win, and we were watching this morning. International Master Joe is down, and of course it's a rest day. He's a weed expert, but he's a chess aficionado, and basically since the Alta Box Norway tournament has a rest day today, we were sort of disappointed, so we watched the French Open instead. What's happening with Djokovic? Did Djokovic lose? He was losing in the third set when I started the stream. Oh, they canceled it. Well, they went, oh, right, okay. They had just left the court, actually. I take it back. They had gone to the locker rooms precisely when I started the stream. Okay. Cancel till tomorrow. Man, this is a tough decision. Do you take with a monster pawn, with a knight, with a rook? Is f5 going to be a problem? Blobby would do rook. Blobby, tell me you wouldn't have done the rook there. Blobster. Blobster's all about rooks and active pieces on forward squares. Good thing I had an extra f-pawn. Check him out. Pawn amoeba. Amoeba of love. Do you think this guy likes to play for time? He likes him some time. Serial cheapo artist. At least this was fun. It's all about having fun at the end of the day. Come on, dude. There's no way you're surviving this. I mean, I would just give up, dude. Oh, is that mate? My bad. Sorry, I rematched him. No, I don't think so. That's enough. Playing on lost positions too long. Okay, Lolly Master. We've never played. Crushing in time, his opponent. But he was obviously very happy with increment. Use of increment there. Excrement and increment. E4. I need my beer back. Beer time. Oh, Supreme re-challenged me. Okay. I'm sorry, I just figured it out. Supreme, I'll take that game next. We're not taking subscribers first. Friday is my day to try to make it, you know, a little bit more interesting by allowing everybody to play in order from when they challenge me, basically. Trying the O'Kelly a little bit. Held to a draw by Morwa, who now has 3.5 out of his last 4 against me. But I had him on the ropes in the opening. You're not really supposed to play d4 against this line. That's the whole point of a6. Since I'm basically doing a stream to teach people, I reveal all my deep secrets. Well, most of them anyway. So when you encounter a6, you should really play either c4 or c3. Blubby probably plays b3. Alright, so d5. The knight in f5 is a bit of an issue. If candidate subs want to play now, candidate subs. I just swallowed a lemon seed. I'm going to grow a lemon tree. Bishop g5, right. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Now I have to remember. I looked at this once, briefly. What did we decide? Okay, so obviously, if d4, knight d5, bishop takes f5, wins a piece. Alright. That must have been what I looked at. With your bodice. You go by Bill, right? I go by everything. I prefer Will. But just don't call me Billy. People who like to troll me and make me feel like a little kid call me Billy. Brian Wall, for example. So he dropped a piece. Pizza. One free pizza. Your dog is hanging on d5. It's an optical illusion. There is really no good way to play for white. You can equalize after having played d4, but I don't think you can do better than that. That's really the best way you can do, to achieve an equal game somehow. This particular variation, he's losing a piece. If knight f6, gf6, his bishop's hanging. If bishop f6, gf6, his knight's hanging if he takes on f5, so he's toast. Immediatamente. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for being here for my stream. You can find my Tinder profile on lichess. I know I look good today. It just feels weird not having Bob here to make compliments about my good looks. Bishop takes f5. G takes f. Ah. This could pose a slight problem, but I don't think it's a big deal. We have to do another Korchnoi type of thing where our king is going to have to... Good try by Lollymaster, though. He found the best practical chance. My king is going to have to take a little walk on the wild side. Lou Reed. A little Lou Reed reference. Great song, by the way. The Velvet Underground. Queen f3, bishop e6, knight f6 check, king e7. Our second king e2, king e7 of the day. I really regret that I didn't, I went to college and I didn't study communications. Instead of being a chess streamer, I should have been like a radio DJ. That would have been a cool gig. Could have just done chess as a hobby and had a real job. But alas, here we are. I spent about 10 years playing poker full time. But chess is my big love. So even if I'm not rich, I'm famous. Somewhat famous? Anyway. Let's go, guys. King e7. I think Bob might have a job. I know that's frightening. And it rhymes. Bob might have a job. c3 was a good practical move, too. We're taking a walk, guys. It looks like a nice day. Someone asked me how the weather was. It's nice weather for a walk here. Probably safer to go to d7. Seriously. I only give out my Instagram to what am I saying? No, I don't have an Instagram. G4. Good practical tries. C3, keep me off of key squares. G4. Knew a girl from the College of Communications. Her first job out of college was to wear a sign and walk in front of Buck-a-Book. Later, she became a dog walker. I have very... Boston University is my alma mater. I have very important relations as well who went to the College of Relations. College of Communications. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really seem that great when you think about it. Walk out and get mated with Queen A3. I'm just taking a little trip. Just for fun, guys. Make sure you analyze all the possible candidate moves when you make a decision. Chess with Chris. Do I have a Snapchat? Check. Check. Man, I can't go bishop b4, which really sucks. But we'll just have to live with it. So, no Snapchat. I should really get modern and get all these things. I've never really been one for social media. I don't have Twitter either, but I hate Twitter. I don't want to do something that Donald Trump does. Send tweets. Queen c3. So if pawn d4, rook d4 check, king c7, knight d5, all that jazz. But if I take, you know, I fix his pawns and he starts to have almost kind of decent compensation. For someone rated 1,000, he's doing a really good job as a hanger-on. Ironically, what if I go back to e7? Then his knight's hanging. All over again. All right, beer is done. First beer of the day. Feel alive again. Marry a girl from Eastern Europe. I live in Hungary, man. I don't need like Snapchat to marry a girl from Eastern Europe when you live in Hungary. All right. We'll just keep it simple. I don't really like golf, but I live between two golf courses. If anyone wants to buy a house situated right between two golf courses, send me a Snapchat. Machine gun rapid fire attacking moves here. He's pretty cagey for 1,010. Dude, how are you 1,010? Moderately placed. Moderately placed. It's not on the market yet. I'll let you know when I put it on the market. I haven't settled on a price yet. All right, 93. What's my plan? To go here? This is getting like weirder and weirder by the minute. I don't like this anymore. I want my knight to get trapped. God. 1,010. Donald likes golf. Download. This is getting really irritating. He had like rook f5 there. Well, he is 666, so he's kind of evil. And I always joke that I quit playing chess for good. Play for evil. How is he 1,000? I mean, that's really low rating. Seriously, dude. Jeez. Thelma and Louise, he's 1,000. Come on now, you're not 1,000. What is this? Where is he from? How could this guy be 1,000? He dropped a piece, but still. It's totally bogus. That's his bit donation. He's gonna donate 1,000 bits, I hope. Now he's 1,000, but he plays like 99% of the game like he's 1,700. I mean, I don't know, dude. That's crazy. All right, now we got the tough customers coming on. We lost Supreme again. Blubix, Uber Driver, Cheesy Noob. 1:45. So we started at 12:30. We're streaming till 3 o'clock. We have an hour and 25 minutes remaining. An hour and 15. I'm sorry. I'm good at math. The Blubix. Well, Hard Vice and Noodle just showed up. He made an emote available thanks to the Mega Cheer. The Pride Trans emote. Hard Vice and Noodle leading the bits donations for the week. 1,500. That is awesome, man. Thank you. Hard Vice and Noodle just kind of lurks and then makes a really generous donation almost every week. Blubix, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna give you. He's also a subscriber. I'm not gonna give Blubix his playing similar. If I play B3, we play like Blubix. I'm not gonna give you. I beat a 1900 once playing this with white. I remember that. I don't really play the Rosalimo. I just recommend other people to play it. Secretly, I want to play B3. Just put my... I'm playing the Nimzo. It's a Rubinstein Nimzo with my pawn on E4 instead of... I'm up a tempo in the Rubinstein Nimzo with black. Let's try to be aggressive. Now, he didn't take with the pawn. This bishop on F1 isn't really too spicy. King H1 and Knight G1. Exactly, Uber Driver. That's the plan. Absolutely. Blubby's playing fast and furious. Super donation from Heartvice and Noodle. Astrobate, Blubby. We've got 4 people over 1,000, and Merle will probably make it by the end of the week. So I have at least 5 people who donated more than 1,000 bits this week. That's awesome. Don't forget, Simon on Sunday if you guys want to play 25 players. I've still got an hour left, over an hour left, guys, so we've got time for a bunch more games. I really wish I could play d4 somehow, but this, what else am I going to do? This is basically a King's Indian attack at this point. All this just to play a glorified King's Indian attack. Okay, have I ever played chess even in your dream? Not a lot, to be honest with you. You would think like someone who played as much chess as I have would get that. I've often wondered why I didn't as well. You know, I mean, I've heard chess players claim they discovered ideas in their dreams. They analyze specific positions. Not so much. I definitely played chess. You know, I have dreams about playing chess, but not like specific. It's funny, not really like specific positions, anything like that. Alright, we gotta be smart about this. King's Indian attack with white bits. Bishop f4. Luckily you had that a6, Mr. Blobix. Bam! Jan Nepomniachtchi style. Don't they do h4 here? H4 I don't think is really appropriate. Inducing the weakness h6. I don't want to trade. I just took away like my own knight g5. Hoping that perhaps h6 would weaken his king side in the long run. It's a risky plan. Giving him useful prophylaxis with h6. Hardvice Noodle says yes, German. Jim donated 100 bits. Hardvice Noodle, what are you referring to? Oh, are you German? He is German. Well, I'm German too. I have German relatives on both sides of my family. Technically, but I'm not German. German. Okay. B5. Good move, preparing this, and there's no knight e5, is there? So what's the plan? He's about to complete his development. What are we going to do next? I'm a little concerned about this. Uber driver's family's from Finland. Now he's giving away too much information. Eventually we're going to figure out who Uber driver is. If he keeps making comments like that, he's not going to maintain his anonymity too much longer. I mean, Finnish relatives, that's pretty specific. You're getting way too specific now. All right, what am I going to do? I'm trying to play for some sort of advantage, but running out of active plans. Damn it. I don't know what to do. Eliminate a kingside defender. And this seems stupid. I have nothing. It's equal at best. Maybe I should take with the pawn. Gonna end up losing a tempo around here somewhere. Primitive attacking plans. Queen e2. Knight h4. Rook g4, very subtle. Rook g4, f5 is really the million-dollar question. Rook g6, queen f7. Knight h4, I'm actually analyzing this. Wasting my time. Supremes. Blob is good. He's an experienced player. Nefedov, Uber driver. Very tough opponents coming up. Supreme is back. We'll give Supreme one last chance. I'm fully caffeinated. We've got one beer. Blob played a super annoying move now. 97. Don't test me, Blob. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger. All he wants is a little bit of respect. He's got the respect. This is King's Indian attack. Kind of wondering if Uber Driver's h4 would have made sense. I think we got something. All that ate the brilliancy of inducing h6. Such a key idea here. Don't worry, I've got an increment. I'm not going to lose on time unless something crazy happens and I get a lost position or something. 2 years ago, I flagged in a game over the board, but it was like a super technical endgame where I had to play like a computer to save it, so I couldn't find the move and I just lost on time. But very rarely do I lose on time in not lost positions. Unlost positions. Uber Driver knows nothing about King's Indian attack, obviously. Well, clearly the Finns don't specialize in that. Wait a minute. Knight h4. Phew, that was close. That got a little too close. Too close for comfort. Got the one-track mind. Money on my mind and my money on my money on my clock. My mind on my money and my money on my mind. Little Snoop Dogg. For the other I am in the house. Cutting it close. The realm of danger. Welcome to the danger realm. Oh, I just hung the exchange. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm just going to have to cheapo. Rely on cheapos all the way here. he found that. Thank God he didn't play f5 there. Would have been over immediately. At least now there's some sort of practical hope. Yeah, maybe not. Not so much anymore. Good game. Alright, Blubby hasn't beaten me since the 4th game we played. Nice job. Nice job. I missed knight f3 was hitting my rook completely. Ah, that hurts. That hurts. I mean, I should have just sacked the exchange on d4 directly. Panicked. I just panicked. I could have played bishop c3, I guess. Black has a good coordinated position. Good job, Lobix. Take me out. Uber driver. No more wins allowed today, guys. You're going to make me look bad. He spilled his drink on his pants while he was so excited he was winning. I hope. But man, it was dumb to drop the 91 back rank because I had some good practical chances there with the pawn for the exchange. Normally I would put up some resistance. Stupid. All right. Too much, not drinkable. Well, I mean, if you are starving in the desert, Blubby, you got to do what you got to do. I think that was a good fundamental game by Blubby. I mean, when I play the King's Indian attack or whatever, and if I give up my central pawn, and Black has the superior center, and there's this backwardness for me along the d file, I have to show something, some sort of kingside attack. And if the kingside attack isn't really there, in this case it was very artificial, then Black's just better. Uber boring for Uber driver. Blubby donated after beating me. Wow. I feel like I should be donating to you. Very generous. Thank you. Pride Winger. 500 as we agreed. Alright, Uber driver, we're going to play the Caro Khan. Caro Khan. Blobby has donated 1510 now, getting ahead of Hardfights and Nudal. Classical Panov Caro Khan here by Uber driver. It's also Queen's Gambit accepted, maybe. Standard IQP position. D5 is the wimpy move that people play when they want to draw with white here. Of course, I would not do that. I'm not that kind of guy. Despite what Yevgeny Romanov might say. Very rarely do I play for draw. I admit to playing for a draw last or 2 years ago against Konstantin Chernyshov. We had a double round one day and I was white and I was tired because I had a like 5-hour game, and so I really did play for a draw and lost. But you should never play for a draw. Now d5 is a little better because d5 takes, knight takes d5. It's still probably equal. I think this is theory though. I'm not playing for a draw. It seems to me he might have to give up his dark square bishop. Like bishop e7, knight e7 check, I think is actually book. Number 1. Blubby is number 1. Nudel is number 2. Acerbate is number 3. Prisoner number 6. Go back to your cell. Dragon BC. Merle Dixon is number 5. He handles the donations. Uber driver doesn't handle the financial side of things. I think Merle's in charge of finances, which is kind of dangerous because you don't want Dr. Jekyll in charge of your finances normally. You've got a game for the sub-games analysis. Oh no. Don't do that to me, please. This is like some old Russian analysis. I remember my friend Jakob Racine showing me maybe this position 20 years ago. We were analyzing. He was like, yes, of course, this is. We studied this in the Pioneer Palace with Yu Dazin in 1976. I have the notebook. I have Yu Dazin's notebook. This, but I don't think that white has much. Uber driver is pretty solid. This is a very safe line. But I thought, like, legitimately, you can give up your dark squared bishop. Like, knight takes d5, maybe you just play bishop e7. But it's kind of torturous, I guess. Knight e7, queen e7, bishop g5. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, and there are a lot of positions that are really similar but slightly different. So, Blobby beat me. Right, okay, bishop pair. Come in. So the classic bishop pair with pawns on both sides of the board. I'm gonna torture Uber driver here if we can. I certainly wouldn't want to play like Magnus Carlsen in this line. Perhaps he has a way to just equalize. I don't like this move. I don't like rook a7. Why don't you play bishop? Sorry, bishop. Rook d8 here. You're coming to c4. Ah, because it just loses the a6 pawn in a lot of lines. I can really just take on a6. 60 Mubats. So rook a7 is recommended. White has to be a little bit better. It's still not easy though. I mean, how am I going to win one of his pawns? The a6 pawn is the prime target. Obviously, white is slightly better. But theoretically, I'm not playing this for a draw, but I guess technically I should go for something that keeps the pieces on the board. Of course, the pair of bishops is better. Slightly better. But there's a problem here. And the knight c4 outpost. Dun dun dun. Stealing your idea. Because I want to play b3 at one moment. It's not very impressive though. This is kind of weak, but I just don't want a permanent resident on c4. I don't mind illegal aliens, but I'm not really fond of permanent residents. This this knight thing. So we're preparing b3. Get out. Get out. Knight g6. Why knight g6? Why would you voluntarily move your knight to g6? Sort of weird. Maybe I start thinking about b4 instead of b3. I don't know what his plan is. What's that about? Why did he play knight to g6? Does anybody know why he wants his knight on g6? I'm going to play g3. Obviously, my pawns and his pawns are very key. If one of those pawns falls, somebody will bite the proverbial dust. Bishop d2, pin it and win it. All right, so what's going on now? g3. No back rank mate, please. I got your h4 right here. Way to slightly improve the position. You feel like black is been a little bit routine about stuff. I'm thinking about that. I want to play a4. Feels like he's gone too passive. I have bishop f5 now. At some moment. Actually, rook d6. God, man, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I lost one, and the French guys are 1.5 out of 2 against me. So embarrassing. USA 1/2, France 1.5. You had rook takes h6 after rook fe8 in our game, and your queen falls. Your queen falls. What? What's my best move? Then he defends his pawn, right? Bishop d5? What's wrong with that? He has some defense. Duh. Playing like God. I go for the back rank. Whoa. He's trying to mate me. Alright, well, it was back and forth. I think you're okay at some point there. I'm curious about the opening. Is that actually theory? I'm acting like it was all theory, but I'm not really sure. No games found. Oh, yeah. 16 games. So, in fact, no one played bishop b7. It's the second best move according to the engine. I mean, I think it's playable. So here, this is Belon Lopez, Grandmaster, Juan Manuel. Crazy player. He has a draw with Ivan back in 95. Black's slightly better after this with Queen c7. Shit. So 95 is a bad move, actually. And white has no advantage. Uber Driver's too solid. Alright, Supreme. I'll have a Supreme D. Mr. Cramling. Mrs. Cramling or Mr. Cramling? Mrs. Cramling's pretty strong. Oh, Mr. Cramling. Yeah, I understand. The husband of Pia Cramling. Yeah, I forgot. Well, I've said this before. Yeah, unfortunately for us. What, that there's a Mr. Cramling? All the beautiful chess players are taken. Sadly. No, I know you're talking about that. I'm good with the two bishops. Jim. H3. Let's try an H3 Grunfeld. At least he can't play H4. That's the one good thing. There won't be any H4 against this. I saw them in the Canary Islands when I played. It was a long time ago, like 2000 or something. Larson was there. The Cramling family and Bent Larson. I regret that I didn't get like Larson's autograph the one time we played in the same tournament. So H3 is kind of rare variation against the, a rare variation within the Grunfeld exchange variation. CD, Queen A5 check. Well, Queen A5 first, I would assume. And then Knight C6. This seems like a good line for black. I crave for H4. Well, yeah. Maybe not. No, is H3 too time consuming in such a critical line? Grunfeld was my first opening for black. Obviously, we're talking about for black. I think white's already in serious danger here. Take a walk out to C3, why don't you? It's completely safe. I'll personally guarantee it. Nom nom nom. Horrible, terrible, delicious. That's the idea of the Grunfeld. Eat pawns, not people. I don't even play the Grunfeld anymore. I guess I would play it, though. I want to play it. The last time I played it was probably like 1996. There's some school of thought that I might have played it as late as 1999, but I'm not even sure. I can't even remember. I'm up 2 pawns here. You try it and you get to London instead. Yeah. He's going to get his rook on the 7th. But I'm up 2 pawns, not 1. Two for the price of 1. I've been a little lazy. Defends 1. Oh my god, man. Alright, so he's like a psychopath. Clearly he wants to get mated. I can arrange for that. He's not actually getting mated. Now he's probably getting mated. At least close to it. Seriously, dude. Why don't you try to play normally instead of being psycho? Still, it's not so easy. Well, I don't think I could ultimately like keep both pawns without making some sort of concession. Blubix. Realistically. Trying to help him. Help him help mate. I don't think he plays a lot of increment blitz, but we shall see. That's like a losing move, essentially. Help me composer. Helper. Hello, Ludwig. Jeez, we play poker together? What kind of sit and goes or multi-table? This is mate. Mate is great. Gives me chocolate cake. Okay, good job, man. Good job. You're trolling. Oh, alright. You're trolling. Oh my god. Please leave a message after the tone. Cheesy noob. Nefdov. E4, E5, knight F6. King of winners. Hardflies and Noodle with another 500 bits. That was a crazy move, King G5. I mean, I don't think he has to do that. But anyway, he did a nice job trying to save that really lost position out of the opening. Number 1 is back. Wow, Hardflies and Noodle fighting for the first position. We don't see that all the time from Hardflies and Noodle. Thank you. It was artistic. Look, I'm up, no material. It's a draw. 4 pawns each in a rook endgame. Cheesy noob. Active king never cries. Okay, Ilo Mari, I'm not going to have time to take that probably anyway. But in general, I'm playing only 5+3. King of winners. Re-challenge me if you'd like to play, because you might get a game. I have time for like several more games, but I don't play rated. The rest of you guys are good to go. It was artistic. So I lost to two. I lost to a French guy today named Blobby. He's pretty good. I'm so glad I do these Euro-facing streams. Pistachios with beer? That sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Nuts and beer. Knight F3. Cheesy noob. You mute. He's not going to listen. Gotta play solid. Not the London system. Not the London system. Good. Thank you for not playing the London system. And come again. I don't mind the Trompowski if they're going to put their knight on F3. The E6 Trompowski if White's going to put the knight on F3. We're just going to transpose to some kind of cheesy noob Tory attack. He likes this. Jim, why are you out of the map? What's wrong? I'm playing Greek players too. You're off the map on the top donations. You don't have to donate much to get ahead of Asterbait. He's at 1265. He's reachable. It's not like the Yankees and the Red Sox 6.5 games back. That's pretty serious. You've got a chance, man. So C5. I think this is like one of the most recommended systems for black against the Tory attack. Actually, Asterbait played an interesting game the other day where he played like knight d5 and traded pieces against a certain opponent. I probably could even take Cheesy Noob selling out his soul. Selling his soul for one little trick, basically. Well, I thought that's what he was doing anyway. Apparently not. Strange. This looks like such a good move. Sort of solves all my problems. Cheesy Noob gave up his central pawn without really a good reason for doing that. I think a fundamental strategic mistake, playing d takes c5 without good reason. That's your strong point. That's your strong point. Why give it up? I mean, I thought he was going to play knight c4 and just go here, but actually maybe that was nothing. Because I actually had d5. Wow, I missed that. All right. So the whole concept was bad. And now c4 is probably bad because he opens up this diagonal. That seems unhealthy for white. You have a very unhealthy attitude, young man. But still, white's position isn't that bad, is it? I need to get the b file. A little action on the b file. He's also maybe got like bishop d3, bishop e4. Try to trade the white square bishop off. Don't like that. The bit struggle is Hitchcockian. This is a mouse slip, okay, guys? I don't mind take backs in the case of obvious mouse slips, even in rated games, if I'm not like lost or something, or we both have less than 30 seconds left, I'll typically give takebacks for mouse slips. And I think it's cool if people are open to that. I know some people have this like very ironclad policy of never giving takebacks, but I mean, certainly in a casual game, we've got to do the take back. I take back. Okay, 94. Hitchcockian. How about we keep that bishop on the long diagonal? He said he's muting the stream. He's stopping night before. Stopper. Always punish is my policy. Punish. Well, I mean, I understand in rated play. There's a lot of people who constantly do pre-moves. Now, if I sense my opponent is constantly trying to get an edge by moving super fast, and it's a rated game, I mean, I'm obviously not gonna mind punishing them in that instance. There, I think, another donation from Uber Driver in honor of the Bob Memorial. Guys, on Tuesday we're having the Bob Memorial. He passed away due to a snake bite. So in honor of Bob, Uber Driver donating 500 bits. The snake bite memorial. On Tuesday, we're due for a Rapid Arena, right? Snakebite Memorial Rapid Arena, sponsored by Uber Driver. We should have prizes in honor of Bob's death. Why am I going to E7? Seems like a stupid move. What isn't a stupid move with your knight blocking all your pieces? Whatever. Cheesy Noob is all about playing for time, which I don't really, like people who just play for time. Thank God it's an increment. I mean, I don't understand how he's not higher rated. He's 2,000 in Rapid now. But how could he be 1788 in Bullet? He played the whole game in like a minute thus far. And E4. Lockdown. Lockdown mode. Such a scary player, stylistically. Psychopathic, I would call his style. It looks deceiving, but H4, he's castled kingside and stuff. Just dropped a piece. He's human. Unpredictable. Give me a piece of, what is that? Uber Driver, thanks another for the Bob Memorial again. Thank you again. Cheer shared rewards to 10 others in chat. The 500 cheer. Alright, he's not giving up. Lock it down. Harmony. The thing about Cheesy Noob is like 1 minute he plays like he's 1300 and the next minute he's scaring me. Very hard to predict. But it's important that I win this game because it would equal my score against France in today's stream. If I beat Cheesy Noob, I hold the match against France. Almost trapped my queen. E5 traps my queen. Oh no. Can't believe it. Totally missed it. It does, actually. It's really messed up. Bishop takes f3. My queen is trapped. No takebacks. I don't know how far you analyze this with the computer, cheesy noob. But I'm alright. E5, bishop takes f3. Undermining your e5 pawn. I win a piece. So I keep my extra piece. That was close. He offered to take back. Like last time. Something methodical about cheesy noob. Guys, we have 25 minutes left in the stream. Don't forget. Do not forget. Simul on Sunday. He can't attack my h-pawn because the bishop is so messed up. He can't put a rook on f6. He can't put a rook on g7. He can't put the rook on h8. But he could put the rook on b7. Then I can play rook, whatever. Whatever. I think you should take there. Alright, I just don't want to lose my h6 pawn under any circumstances. Faster, noob. Well, I mean, Spassky, I was talking about this. He's one of the least sort of famous world champions. That's true. No counterplay. But I mean, playing Fischer for the world champ, the most iconic world championship of all time, isn't really shabby. Dude's driving me crazy here. Fuchsia, hi. Right, nobody knows who Max Uwe is. Easily the least famous world champion. Alyakin was drinking too much. But obviously, I mean, Uwe was a great player. Highest caliber. He's like relentless. Is there a mate here? How's your bishop doing? You don't need that for anything, right? Alright, that's what I thought. There's got to be a mate now. He resigned. I guess check, king h1. Actually, that's not that easy. There's no immediate mate. Funny. Strange that he resigned now. Okay, Nefedov appeared out of nowhere. Fuchsia allows some discussion about short pants, Zurab, and gypsies. The last time I saw Zurab was when he got punched. Shortly after he got punched at the Olympiad. That was back in like 2005. But he's not shady or corrupt at all. Obviously a very, very straightforward guy. Jim's not going to play? Jim, you seem like you've been kind of depressed lately. What do we do? What does Nefedov do against a6 again? He doesn't have a good system against this, right? Now he played c4. But does that gel with his repertoire? I can make Nefedov play the white side of the Marazzi. Even though I played a6, it's not a great move. He doesn't play the white side of the Marazzi. We can exploit his limited style repertoire. a6 is not great, but like a Marazzi expert would punish me for playing a6 in some way. Of course, I could also maybe not take on d4 and try to play it like a sort of Benoni. Perhaps better to just do like, so d4, d6, then there's takes on c5. That's a different sort of problem. Yeah, I think like d4, d6, d takes c5 is a bad Smyslov endgame. Botvinnik versus Smyslov. Or Smyslov Botvinnik, I don't remember. You don't want to do that. a6 is even worse than that game. So d4, d6 doesn't work. Yeah, I think I have to take on d4. You've won a few beautiful Marazzi games against the a6 players. Yeah, I mean, you don't often play a6 in the early going. Like the first 10 moves, it's usually never played, so it's got to be bad. But at least I get Marazzi sort of structure against a player who doesn't do this. d6, d takes c5 sucks. Knight c6 is interesting. Knight c6, d takes c. He could also just play bishop e3, which is fine. Alright, so how do we make a6 work in the Marazzi? The answer is you don't. I mean, it's certainly not a ridiculous move. It's not like I played h6 or something. It's a standard Sicilian move. It helps support b5. But it's considered inaccurate. Yeah, the Marazzi bind and Marazzi are the same thing. Marazzi Geza, one of the most legendary Hungarian chess players of all time. I live in Budapest most of the year, so I'm pretty familiar with anything Hungarian and chess. And I don't recommend playing the black side of the Marazzi bind for a win as black. It's not easy to play it for a win as black, let's say. typically. If you were to play knight c2, in that variation, it might be okay for me. That's my game with Magnus's dad. The Magnus dad variation. Castle, castle, knight c2, a6. Kenny Solomon. Do you think that Hungary is a good place for retired people? Well, I mean, you know, again, like healthcare becomes a big issue. I don't think like the level of healthcare is as good in Hungary as in some countries. Having dealt with my mother having health issues, you know, I chose to bring her over there, but if I had other options, I probably wouldn't. So in that sense, no. A lot of tourists go to, but we get a lot of tourists in Balaton. Very popular with German tourists. A lot of older tourists go to Lake Balaton in Hungary for vacation and stuff. But as far as like living there year round, not really. Okay, Nefedov here is out of his element. Playing h3 in the Marazzi. He's going to go f4. Turn it into a 4 pawns attack King's Indian. We have it b5? Or not? I don't believe I have that. Nefedov's kind of being faithful to his usual setup. I think h3 is unnecessary, and this is very bad. You never want to have that necessarily when you play f3 and h3, creating a lot of dark square weaknesses. He's just there's no need to play h3 around here. Maybe not so easy to exploit, though. There should be some way to do so. You can try to do it directly. Right. Well, I mean, the hole on b6, that's the whole problem with a6, of course. You know, Uber driver drawing attention to that idea. Yes. And I also need to consider like putting my rook on b8 instead of c8, because that might be able to cover b6 if that becomes an issue. Stop giving Nefedov good ideas. I don't really think knight h5 is all that great. He's just going to lose on time. Play another game, Schnoofy. e4, e5, knight f6. Is that a Hungarian? Yes. Thought I remembered. So we lost to e4, e5, knight f6 in our one game? Were they like super strong or something? Oh boy. Nefedov might be disconnected. You never know if he's like on the... He's getting beaten up on a London bus or something. Knight takes c6. Rook takes c6. There was this horrible story in the news about these lesbian women getting beaten up on a London bus yesterday. Safe. Always good to hear how safe it is. Knight, that doesn't happen in Budapest, really. Knight takes, except... Alright, knight takes c6, b takes c6, or do we take with a rook? How do I want to, dealing with this? Anytime you make a pawn move, you weaken your position. I think if I play bc, he could try like c5. Nefedov was really trying to suck the life out of the position. He likes to keep it solid, of course, which is logical against a higher rated opponent. think that's very logical. The Marazzi's tough. I have no threats whatsoever here. We're gonna play a little bit anti-positionally. Chop chop, Nefedov, chop chop. We have very strong threats here, like queen g5, bishop takes h3, queen f2, bishop takes h3. I don't like playing e5, but at least my dark square bishop is gone. The rook hangs, the rook covers d6. So what's going on here? He might have some serious problems, actually, in the final position. Yeah, because queen f2, bishop takes h3. I mean, I saw this. This is... Nefedov should not play h3 and f3. You can't combine those two things. So we were practical in getting him to play a structure he doesn't normally play. E4, e5, knight f6. Vanquisher of me in the 7+3 game. Wow. Maybe they're unbeatable. It's a strange name. E4, e5, knight f6. Why would that be possible? Well, it's not so much a bashful apology, Percy Epworth, but I do want to caution people who play the, who do play the accelerated dragon or the dragon in general, that you don't want to play e5 in general. It's usually a bad move. So I don't want to like inspire people to go playing e5 when they have a bishop on g7, more or less. I have huge respect for Rubinstein. Yeah, one of my favorite players. Definitely. So I don't know who this person is, but it's apparently from Hungary. The fact that they're 1500 in bullet, 1800 in classical, and they beat me in a game is kind of disheartening. Bishop g4, queen b3, e6, queen takes b7, knight a5, queen b4. It seems like there's a problem with that variation. Bishop g4, queen b3, e6, queen b7, knight a5, queen b4, e5. And this is a known trap. Oh, that's it. That must be it. He's a minute ahead of me. Bobby, you're playing a rather less explored variation there. That e5. I have seen people do that. Interesting. If I play knight d4 now, there's bishop takes f7 check. I've been through this trap before. Maybe this is how he beat me the first game. It looks like it was possibly. Well, I'm fianchettoed. I don't know how that would happen. He's used 11 seconds. And check it out. He's 1500 in bullet. And he played the first 10 moves in 11 seconds. That's not suspicious or anything. But whatever. All right. E45. Hussar F hot. A-Nage, A-Ode, Hussar F hot. He just got lucky the first game. Yeah, I mean, it takes me a while to remember these lines, like knight d4, bishop f7 check, king f7, queen c4 check. I've been through this like 3 times here on my stream, but I have to remember every time. Kind of obscure stuff. Guys, lots of generous donations. Hardvice and Noodle went up to 2,000. Bloby with 1510. Asterbait with 1265. Jim with 11. Merle on 702. Dragon BC move 11. Uber Driver. Alms on Twitch. Mr. Coffee. Thank you guys. Percy Hepworth got kicked off the list. Just not right. Oh, Uber driver entered the list with 500. So it's not just Merle that pulls the purse strings in their family. I've been here before. That's a mistake. So at least he's human. Should never play bishop takes e5. Black's always better after that. Basically, he has to play queen, it looks like queen e2. It's not ideal. Queen g3 is usually better, but I have knight h5 here, knight h5. Queen e2, best shot for him there. Now black is just slightly better. Well, more than slightly better. You stole from Merle's piggy bank. Together, Merle and his other personality have donated 1,202. Well, at least you guys only have to buy one set of clothes, you know? I mean, you can save money on stuff like that. Merle, I think Merle's working. Maybe he still hasn't come home from last night. His ravings. Alright, little Dr. and Jekyll. Little Dr. and Jekyll referencing the classic Rook A7. Maybe I could consider A5. Since he's going to put a rook on C6 and like start threatening really primitive sort of sacrifices and attack my A6 pawn anyway, I'm tied down to this E5 pawn. That's why I can't play Queen B6 or something like that. I mean, black is clearly dominating here. A4 is useful. He's also... Alright, he's just hanging his E4 pawn. I don't expect people to drop their central pawns. Not something I'm normally tuned into. Tune out and tune in. That is an important pawn. He's got some very clear ideas about what he wants to do here. Definitely not a materialist. Opposite color bishops, he starts to have some threats now. It's a very primitive style of play, sacrificing numerous pawns for piece play. It's amazing he's only down 2 pawns. It feels like he's down 3. Anyway, guys, this is going to be the last game for today. Time is up in 3 minutes, unfortunately. I'd love to play all of you, but martini time is at hand. Fuchsia knows what I'm talking about. Rook D, C1. DC10. It's like A4, actually. Alright, there's the rook. The rook maneuver. The acerbate maneuver, as we call it. Guardian of the 7th rank. Yeah, one more game, and then the next guy wants one more game. I can't operate like that. It would be 2 more games if I was to play you, Ilo Mari. Focusing on E6. Or safer on the dark squares. Just put everything on 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 dark squares. Just put It's nice to know you're wanted. Dropping a center pawn is I just got home from work. I think Merle works during the day and Uber driver works at night. He's got the night shift. Basically together though, they do pretty well. What's Queen F3 about? Take it down. We managed to coordinate. It's a Queen F7 sacrifice. This guy's tough. He's hanging in there. Is this Simon at midnight again? 11:30. Certainly not at midnight. I would never do a thing like that. I want to start trading some pieces here. Bishop F6 not great unless I can play E4. Oh. It'd be nice to actually have some threats. Shifting to attacking. I'm shifting into an attacking mode. The bishop breathes fire again. From F6, it was stunted with the pawn on E5. White is running out of ideas here. Merle's giving away all my best kept secrets. Thanks, Merle. I mean Uber driver, whatever your name is. The best kept secrets. Everything's coordinated on the dark squares. Dark square dynasty. Duck square dynasty. He just dropped. Dropped everything. Actually, mate would be better. Oh my god. He resigned. He won my queen and resigned. Okay. That's generous. He won my queen and resigned. I played queen c1 instead of mating him with rook d1 check. I hung my queen with queen c1. Yeah, I made in 2 and I didn't play it. Instead, I dropped my queen with queen c1. I didn't anticipate him like allowing me to mate him, so it kind of confused me. Honestly, I forgot he even had his rook protected, so I told you guys it was martini time. Anyway, very gracious resignation. What would have happened in the event of like continuing the game? Queen c1, rook c1. It's kind of funny. I might be better still. Rook d1 check. Rook d1, rook d1, king h2, rook b1. Let's see the analysis. Black's still clearly better. Queen b5, I have this crushing move a3. He's got to move his b pawn. Wow, I'm winning. See, that's why he resigned. His engine said it was like minus 0.4. So no problem. I can drop queens and I'm still winning. Obviously no problem at all. That was the idea. That's why I just, you know, totally understand his resignation. That's how good my position is. I could just lose my queen and still be winning. But anyway, thank you for the game. Thanks, guys. It's martini time. Friday afternoon. My favorite day of the week. When he played e4, he drew the arrow the other way. A game for the anthologies, absolutely. I always play my best the last game of the stream. The problem is I had only one beer. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your support. Generous support today. Our ant friend is still around. Hey. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday.